Now at 5, below zero again, and some snow showers in your forecast.
And it has now been 5 days since the bulk of a winter storm hit central Indiana. But has that been enough time to get Indy streets clear? We are taking you back out on the road to give you an idea of what's happening.
And a 16-year-old is now under arrest for murder. The barber he's accused of killing, and what investigators say they believe led up to that shooting. Live from Indy this Thursday night, you're watching 13 News.
And we are once again under a weather impact alert as we track sub-zero temperatures all across central Indiana.
That's all that blue and purple on the map right now. There is also a chance of snow in the forecast. We're starting today at 5 in the Weather Center. We're with Angela Buckman, who has a look of what we can expect weather-wise tonight. All this blue, it kind of fits in. It's kind of like that blue emoji with all the ice.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
When we wear blue, we usually like wearing it for the Colts.
That's right.
Yes.
On Friday.
On Friday.
But
and
now we're weather.
Yeah, now it's for weather.
Yeah.
Of course, we want to know what things are going to look like because parents are trying to plan for school.
Yes, and we already have some school delays running at the bottom of your screen. So the weather impact alert continues. And Felicia mentioned the snow. We've got a little weather system developing to our west. That becomes a big weather system that I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. As it slides south and east, this little area of snow, far southern part of the state gets a snow chance tonight. The rest of us will have some flurries and some snow showers around tomorrow. Any accumulations will be light and less than an inch. So snow really not the big story. The cold continues to be the big story. Below zero wind chills, below zero temperatures, more school delays. As I mentioned, they're already running at the bottom of your screen. That weather impact alert through tomorrow night. This evening temperatures in the teens will drop down into the single digits. Sunset is at 6:01 tonight. As we head into tomorrow morning rush hour, temperatures below zero, a late start for some because of some of those 2-hour delays. Temperatures will climb from below zero numbers into the teens by noon, and that's where we'll end up for highs tomorrow. All of the layers again tomorrow. We'll talk more about those snow chances in a few minutes.
Okay, Angela, all the layers and then some. We appreciate it. And we want to get you out live now to Brandon Schaff.
Brandon's out on the vehicle, checking out the conditions on the side streets across the city. The city has had days to clear them following this storm. We knew it'd be a big job. What do you see right now, Brandon?
Hey, good evening, Anne-Marie and Felicia. We are here on the west side. This is North Cole Street, right by Thatcher Park. And this is an area where contractors have been working to try to clear the snow off of these residential streets since earlier this week after we saw all of that snowfall here in Indianapolis. And this is an area that still has a little bit of snow on the road itself, but still passable down to about a single lane for traffic to go back and forth. So you'd really have to alternate. And that's, what we're seeing in a couple different areas on this side of town. Indy DPW contractors were activated once we had at least 4 inches of snow. I spoke with a resident right here on the west side on this street who got more than a foot of snow in his driveway after the snowstorm. Between today and tomorrow, Indy DPW is inspecting the work that contractors did to clear the snow from these roads. Residents who think that their street was missed are asked to contact the Mayor's Action Center or submit a ticket via the Request Indy website or app with photos if they have them. And they'll be reviewing any complaints that are received from the public to check and see if the contractors missed any streets, did wind up completing the work, or if it's just private property. Kurt Buckingham, living on this street, says that his street was plowed Monday evening.
We can push it out of the way, but it's going to go in somebody's yard or in their driveway or whatever. So I'd have to give the city a 70 or 80% good marks for what they've been able to do.
Now, Buckingham will turn 88 years old this year and says that his doctor advised him to not shovel all of that snow by himself. Well, fortunately, he had some help from the person who he hired to help. His wife also helped to clear the snow that piled up by the mailbox. And once contractors plowed North Cole Street here, that obviously made a big difference for him to be able to get in and out of his home. Now, like I mentioned, it's down to essentially one lane here. So he says the drivers really do need to yield to each other, be respectful. And Indy DPW, they do not plow private property. So they do say that homeowners are responsible for clearing their own driveways, sidewalks, and the areas around mailboxes. And Indy DPW has also been on 12-hour rotating shifts since last Friday night, but that will change as of tonight. They will resume normal working hours at 11 o'clock tonight. Anne Marie, Felicia, we'll send it back to you.
Yeah, been a long haul, a lot of OT there. Thanks so much, Brandon Schaff, showing us the conditions at this hour.
Slowly but surely making progress. Well, for the 6th time in 5 days, Indiana State Police are dealing with another crash involving one of their troopers' cars.
Those crashes are among the 530 total crashes that state police say they've responded to here in central Indiana ever since the storm hit over this past weekend. State police even sharing these pictures from the crash that was the latest on I-70 East west of Plainfield. The trooper in this case was investigating a rollover crash when another car spun out of control and then hit his squad car.
The trooper and the other driver were hospitalized but are expected to recover. And nearly every county in and around central Indiana is now under a travel advisory.
An advisory, so you can see those are the counties here in yellow. It is the lowest level of a local travel advisory.
But some counties like Lawrence and Rush are still under the travel watches, which is why you're seeing the orange on the map here.
So as we've been seeing from that map and from Brandon's video, life slowly is returning to normal, slowly but surely after the storm.
We're getting there, but some things are still being impacted. Ella Roach checked in on the operations for things like trash pickup and mail delivery after the storm. We know a lot of folks still waiting here, Ella.
Yeah, definitely. So we talked about mail earlier. Now let's get into that trash. Nobody wants to see trash sitting out, and it doesn't smell too great. But I did see a bunch of DPW garbage trucks out today. So that is great news, and they're getting back to that regular schedule. So as service returns to normal, it will be regular tomorrow as well. So let's say that bad weather did cancel your trash pickup earlier in the week. DPW says you can leave out additional bags of trash next to your bin on your next pickup day. Also, DPW says recycling will be picked up on your next scheduled day. Make sure your cart is in front of large snow piles in a clear 4-foot space on each side of the bin so collection trucks can pick up your bins. Now, also, if you don't know and or remember your trash pickup day, no worries. You can look it up on indy.gov. That snowstorm really confuses all of our days. But now, of course, many of us don't live here in Indianapolis. So if you're outside Marion County, your best bet is to check the social media pages for your local public works and utility agencies for any updates or changes to those schedules.
Yeah, sometimes it's best just to put it out on the regular day and leave it there. They'll get to it. It's usually a day or two delay.
Exactly.
All right, Ella, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And don't forget, you can always keep up with the forecast and check out the current conditions if you have the Live Doppler 13 weather app.
That's also the place where you can check out any school delays and closings tomorrow morning. We are on top of it, so you don't have to be. We'll fill you in. On to more news now. An Indianapolis 16-year-old is charged tonight as an adult with the murder of his barber.
Tonight, our Rich Nye digs into the court records, which say that the barber was trying to buy a gun from that teen.
35-year-old Stephen Coach cut hair for a living. Some of his clients lived here at the City View Apartments at 38th and Meridian. Court records say there is a video on Coach's phone of him cutting hair in the lounge at the top floor of the building. 16-year-old Dominic Sherman is allegedly in that video. Investigators believe Coach went to the City View Apartments on November 8th last year to trade his watch to Sherman for a gun. A friend of Coach was in a separate car to watch the transaction and make sure nothing went wrong. But he allegedly lost Coach and Sherman when they walked out of the building toward 39th and Pennsylvania. The friend says Sherman came back to City View a few minutes later without Coach and took off in Coach's car.
In this instance, someone was basically set up essentially where the 16-year-old ultimately using a firearm that shouldn't have had it, used it unjustifiably, taking another person's life and ultimately also trying to take their car in this whole instance.
The shooting happened here at 39th and Pennsylvania, just a block from the apartment complex. And a neighbor's doorbell camera captured some of the incident. The neighbor, who also called 911, showed me the video where you see a person standing over Coach and rummaging through his belongings before running off.
Here we have a 16-year-old whose life has ultimately changed forever. This is a big case on a 16-year-old to go through, and if it's waived to adult, they're going to serve adult time, right? That's real time. That could be a long, long time.
Police say they have video of Sherman from several sources coming and going from the apartment complex with Couch and stealing his car. In Indianapolis, Rich Knight, 13 News.
Sherman is now charged with murder, robbery, and dangerous possession of a gun by a child. He'll make his first court appearance tomorrow, Friday morning.
And tonight, the Marion County Sheriff's Office is providing an update on a video many people have seen online, causing a lot of speculation about whether this incident involved ICE. The Sheriff's Office post on social media says the video shows their sex offender registry unit assisting the United States Marshal on an active case involving missing children. Well, the Sheriff's Office says all 5 children have been found and they are safe. The post goes on to say, quote, "This was not an ICE CPB operation and ICE and CPB agents were not involved in this operation."
Where does Central Indiana fall when it comes to rental housing costs? A new analysis from Construction Coverage just broke it down using HUD and census numbers across all 50 states. In the Indianapolis metro, the median rent is just over $1,600 a month. 3-bedroom rent is up to $2,000 and median 4-bedroom rent is now at $2,400 a month. To put that in context, that's 16% below the national median rent of $1,900. In case you're wondering, the most expensive large city to rent in is San Jose, California, where the median monthly rent is $3,800. The least expensive is St. Louis, where it's $1,300.
All right, thanks, Dustin. And taking over IPS.
We have the bill that's proposed at the Indiana State House and what lawmakers are now saying about it today, ahead at 5:30. But first, Angela.
Anne-Marie and Felicia, another night below zero, highs in the teens tomorrow. That's your Friday forecast, but how about the weekend? I'll have a look ahead.
The goal, improving ICE operations in Minneapolis.
The work being done now after 2 deadly shootings and how that situation may lead to a government shutdown this weekend.